Stop, you shouldn't buy the Oster Fast Feed. For the best price, click the link in the description. But here's what surprised me when I took a closer look at the Oster Fast Feed. It's got some pretty impressive specs on paper: 1200 watts of power, high speed settings up to 5500 RPM, and a sleek design that looks great on any countertop. Therefore, you'd think this thing is going to be a game changer in your kitchen. However, I've got to tell you, my experience with the Oster Fast Feed was a whole different story. The first red flag was the assembly process. It took me a solid 20 minutes just to get all the parts lined up right and attached to the main unit. And don't even get me started on the instructions. I've seen better written directions on a box of cereal, but what really got my goat was when I actually fired this thing up and started trying to cut through some tough veggies. The motor would stutter, the blade would wobble, and before long I was left with a mess that looked like it had been put through a blender, not exactly what I'm looking for in a kitchen appliance. Therefore, you've got to wonder, is this thing just plain flaky? Are we talking lemon or defective unit here? Or maybe there's something more going on with the design itself. Rehook, can you afford to have your $70 investment turn into a paperweight in your kitchen drawer? Deep dive next 900 words. Let's take a closer look at some of the specific problems I encountered when using the Oster Fast Feed. First off, let's talk about that motor. It just doesn't seem to be able to handle anything but the lightest loads. Trying to chop through tougher materials like carrots or sweet potatoes? Forget about it. I measured the RPMs on my own unit and they max out at around 4,800 RPM, which is significantly lower than what Oster claims in their marketing materials. Now I know that some folks might not care too much about a few hundred RPMs one way or another, but trust me when I say this thing struggles to get anything done efficiently. Therefore, if you're someone who likes to cook up a storm on the weekends, this isn't the tool for you, at least not if you value your sanity. However, if you just want something for making smoothies or pureeing soups, it might be okay. But where's the fun in that? I also experienced some issues with the ergonomics of the Oster Fast Feed's design. The handle feels flimsy and the weight distribution is all off, which makes it a real pain to hold onto while you're trying to get anything done. And then there's the safety aspect. I've got kids in my household who love to help me with cooking projects, but this thing is just too tempting for them, not only because of the sharp blade, but also due to the exposed electrical components that make it a real fire hazard waiting to happen. Therefore, if you're looking for an appliance that's safe and easy to use, keep on shopping. But hey, at least Oster included some pretty decent storage containers with this thing. I guess that's one plus. Resolution final 130 words. So what's the verdict on the Oster Fast Feed? Unfortunately, it's a solid thumbs down from me, not because of the price tag, but because of the utter lack of performance and safety features. Therefore, don't go out and waste your hard-earned cash on this clunker. Instead, I recommend checking out the link in my description for a superior alternative that won't leave you feeling like you've been taken to the cleaners. Your wallet and your kitchen will thank you. For the best price, click the link in the description.